You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast, the hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. Chris Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com, thechrisvossshow.com. Hey, we're coming here on the Internet Podcast. We certainly appreciate you guys tuning in. To see the video version of this, there's so many cool things going on all of our channels. Go to youtube.com/Chris Voss. Also see our big LinkedIn newsletter. The thing is crazy, man. It keeps growing by like 100 a day or something over on LinkedIn. You can find it. It's the Chris Voss Show podcast newsletter that's over there. We just launched some sort of page that's over there. And of course, you can join our 132,000 member group that's over on LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn's really coming out there. They launched the new audio thing. You can hopefully be involved in that as well. Also, go see all of our groups on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere those cool kids are, even TikTok. And also go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss. You can see my books and all the books we're reading and reviewing over there. We always have the most brilliant people on the show, people that will inform you, expand your mind, educate you, and you'll learn more stuff. And then you get to walk around and tell everybody how smart you are. See how that works? Plus, you belong to the Chris Voss Show podcast family, and we don't judge you. So that's even better than your current family that you have right now. Or at least I'm assuming so, but I'm pretty sure I've got that one nailed down. Anyway, guys, today we have on the show a very interesting gentleman. He's going to be talking to us about some of the technologies he's using. Tom Paladino is on the show with us today. He is a Scalar, or Scalar? Is it Scalar or Scalar, Tom? Scalar energy researcher with over 25 years of experience developing healing techniques designed to help people all over the world to recover from pathogenic infection and experience true health and wellness. So we're going to get better here today. Tom, tell us your plugs, and let's get into who you are and what you do.
Chris, thanks for the invite, and it's a pleasure to speak to your audience. And we're going to discuss scalar energy, which is not electricity. Okay. I'm a scalar energy researcher. Mm-hmm. I develop scalar energy instruments that harness scalar energy that can control this energy spectrum. And what you can do with scalar energy is phenomenal. It allows you to have control over physical matter. And we'll get into that.
So let's take a look at your .coms and where you want people to go check out your website so they can learn more about you.
Sure. The website is scalarlight.com. That's SCALAR, scalarlight.com. And we will refer to a free trial that we offer on the website.
Cool. You give I think it's a 15-day free trial?
That's right. Anybody in the world can sign up and experience scalar energy for 15 days free of charge. We do that because we want to educate people. And the best way to educate people is by way of them experiencing this quantum healing, scalar healing.
Mm-hmm. Now, you're also the inventor of what's called Scalar Light.
Yes, that's correct.
Cool.
So this has been my lifelong career, if you will. My goal is to introduce scalar energy, this other energy spectrum, to the world. And I've developed scalar energy instruments that control this dimension of what some people call zero-point energy. I call it scalar energy. And the key element right now that I'm looking to prove is that scalar energy can be used to improve health, quantum health, whether it's people or in animals. And to that end, I've devoted the website to proving the merit of quantum.
So let's get to the core of what scalar light is. I mean, what is that?
It's sunlight. It's starlight. It's the initial energy of the universe. Some cultures might call that chi or prana or om. In the scientific community, we call it longitudinal waves or scalar energy. And there is another waveform. There is another energy spectrum. Electricity and magnetism is valid. We realize that. Mm-hmm. But the other energy, scalar energy, is indeed an energy that is now being grasped, embraced, encouraged. And I look to the future where scalar energy will be acknowledged as another energy dimension that offers great prospect. It's technology that's going to change the world.
Wow. That's pretty powerful. I know a lot of people, I know that there's people that believe in going out and using the light of the moon. And I know I have friends now that they try and get their vitamin D directly from the sun. So in the morning when they have their coffee, they go out, sit in the sun, and as opposed to trying to take supplements, which is probably a lot more natural. Right. So tell us more about how it works and how to utilize it.
Okay, so again, this is a new and emerging science. I frankly think scalar energy is a new branch of physics. Now, when I work with people with my scalar energy instrument, I work with a photograph of a person. People will email me a photograph, and I actually place a photograph inside my instrument. My instrument will decipher, will code, and will better understand the biorisms, the physical character of a person by way of the photograph. So what am I getting at? A photograph is the energetic copy of a person. When I place a photograph of a person inside my instrument, I'm able to identify microbes, viruses, bacteria, and eradicate those microbes. I'm able to balance the 7 chakras. I'm able to actually create a micronutrient, an antioxidant, or a mineral. All of that is done by way of this interface through a photograph of a person. This is the new science of scalar energy.
Wow. So do people buy these and put them in their homes, or how do they order it and it gets sent to them, or how does it work?
It's a service that I offer. I have a rather extensive laboratory. It's very complicated. Okay. So I don't sell any lab equipment. Okay. So what I'm trying to do is simply to introduce this to the world. I'm the pioneer. I've developed this process. I don't think anybody else in the world has this ability because they don't have my unique instrumentation. So the point is to educate people. How do we educate people? We ask them to go to our website and sign up for the 15-day trial. And then people prove to themselves that there is some merit to this interface of a photograph, what we call quantum healing.
So they send you their photograph. That's basically the whole service?
Yes, that's it. We do the rest. Now, what I really want to underscore is this. On account of the fact that your photograph is your energetic copy, we capture your essence, so to speak, in the present moment. Everything is in the real time. So when I have your photograph, I'm able to eradicate the viruses, the bacteria, and the fungi that infect you. And I do all of that on a daily basis. So we call that the pathogenic cleanse. And we've had great success in eradicating the Epstein-Barr virus, the herpes virus, various types of species of fungi and bacteria, all through the interface of a photograph.
Wow. So do people send you their photograph and they just feel better? They get better?
Most people do. That's why we offer 15 days of sessions, Chris. After 15 days of having microbes eliminated, eradicated, 15 days of having your chakras balanced, there is a discernible uptick in their health. People feel better. The upshot is that people feel better. And that's the key. When you have a new science like this, you have to prove it to the people. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm all about results.
And so how does scalar energy transmute matter?
If I'm looking at, say, a virus is held together, I'm going to use 2 fingers by a molecular bond.
Okay.
And a scalar energy has the intelligence to negate that molecular bond. We can negate a hydrogen bond, a covalent bond, meaning what? Matter will disintegrate or fall apart. It will still exist, but we're rearranging matter. So if, say, in practice, if I wanted to rearrange the herpes virus, I would instruct my instrument to send the necessary intelligence to unbind the molecular bonds that hold together herpes. And what happens, the molecular bonds negate, and the virus falls apart into, say, elements or proteins. So we don't annihilate matter, we simply rearrange it. And in so doing, if it's an infectious agent, we rearrange that infectious agent into smaller, harmless elements.
Basically break them down. So how does the person receive how does my body know that you've done this from across the spectrum?
Yeah.
Whatever.
By your experience. Now, I work in a laboratory, a remote laboratory, with photographs of people from around the world. And it works more or less like a cell phone can receive a signal from around the world. Well, I can send a signal or receive a signal by way of my instrument. So, if you will, the person is the receiver, my instrument is the transmitter. The nature of scalar energy, once you tap into that paradigm, it's an immediate interface of information throughout the universe. So what am I getting at? I have a scalar energy satellite in which I can send information anywhere in the world, and I direct it by way of a photograph. Oh, wow. So if I have a person's photograph, my instrument working like a satellite can send information by way of that photograph.
Mm-hmm. Wow. There's all sorts of different ways stuff happens in this world. Yeah. That's interesting. So how much success have you had with this? How many people have you helped, and what are some of the different things that you've helped?
Last month, we received a report from Tanzania. I've been working with people in Tanzania pro bono. We were working with an HIV/AIDS clinic for the past few years. And everybody that submitted their photograph to me has reported now that they no longer are HIV positive.
Wow.
So everybody that I worked with in Tanzania, by the way, I've never been to Tanzania, by way of their photograph, this HIV clinic is now reporting to me that they feel well. None of them are testing positive for HIV virus. They feel great. They're back to work, living a normal, healthy life.
Mm-hmm. Now, I noticed on your website, too, you have some reference to a healing trinity, and there's a thing at the bottom, Jesus, the divine physician,
yes.
and stuff. Is that involved religion in some of this? Or
I believe that God, Jesus, is the divine physician by all means. I believe that scalar energy is a divine energy. This is what I've tapped into. This is not a stream of electrons.
Okay.
Scalar energy is really the omnipresence of God, or the divine energy of God. I affirm that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's part of the whole process then, maybe.
I give the credit to God. I'm not the healer. God is the healer. Okay. I simply have access to this incredible energy that allows me to effectuate this favorable design.
So when people work with you, do they continue doing a monthly sort of thing? Okay.
They feel better. They not necessarily place their finger on it, but they know that they feel better.
Wow, that's important. Do a lot of these guys go to the doctors and get confirmed they're healed and stuff, and provide you the research reports and stuff that you need?
Yeah, they do. Many people have conducted PCR tests on their own, and invariably those tests come back negative. There's no sign of Epstein-Barr or no sign of herpes. It's the new science of scalar energy. It requires a great deal of thought and expertise to wrap your head around this, but there is merit to our work.
How long have you been doing this?
My life. This has been a 45, 50-year career, Chris.
Wow. That is wild, man. And you see this as the future of healing.
Yes, I do. My photograph can work with one photograph at a time, or a collage of photographs at a time. Today in my laboratory, I was working with approximately 250,000 photographs of people from around the world.
Wow.
So that's, to me, that's the number game that we're looking at. The ability to send healing to millions of people by way of a photograph.
Wow. And who are the researchers and physicists of the past, and how did they use scalar energy in the past?
There were a few scalar energy experts. Nikola Tesla was one of them. Another man by the name of Thomas Moray, Galen Hieronymus. Very few engineers, scientists have ever been able to master this science to create and these are not electrical instruments. So I could count on my hand less than 10 bona fide scalar energy researchers who developed scalar energy instruments and had knowledge of its working. So it's a very narrow field.
Okay. And let's see. How do scalar energy assembles and maintains all physical forms? Like, how does it...
By way of instructions, I'll give you an example. Okay. One of my instruments is able to create, say, antioxidants. Now, how do we do that? We look at a person's photograph, and a person's photograph has the elements available. Everybody's made out of a carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, calcium. And what we do, we simply rearrange those elements into an antioxidant, or we rearrange those elements, those existing elements, into an amino acid. So this is really conservation of energy, conservation of motion. We take the existing elements that we're composed of, we rearrange those into a micronutrient. We do that by way of scalar intelligence. So we don't need just a building block, so to speak. We don't have to create anything. The body is the building block. We have those elements in our body, and we simply rearrange those elements into a nutrient.
Wow. That's pretty amazing. Let's see. What else do we need to know about your service and what you provide?
Okay, scalar energy. Let me underscore this matter. It's energy from the sun and the stars. So it's natural, clean energy. It is not electricity. Scalar energy is what really drives the stars. Nikola Tesla developed scalar energy instruments. He was quite successful in so doing. And I would consider those to be free energy instruments. And that's one of the reasons why Tesla's work was never embraced. It was too threatening. It was too intimidating. Scalar energy instruments are energy instruments that utilize energy of the stars. Okay, so we overcome the fossil fuels, so to speak. We're just tapping into star energy. That's what I have, Chris. I have a miniature star. My scalar energy instrument gives off, emanates, if you will, star energy. So if Tesla was giving free energy to the world, I propose to give free healing to the world. It's the same function, whether you're giving away free energy or free healing.
So what's the monthly cost of this? Do you want to cover that with us?
Yeah. After the 15-day trial, people can sign up. It's $89 a month.
Wow. Okay. And then you cite this sort of energy can be utilized as an unlimited supply of energy and put an end to the energy crisis. So we could be using this to power homes?
Yes, exactly. This is what Nikola Tesla envisioned. And he actually created a free energy tower in Long Island. And he was able to power light bulbs with this energy. Now, if you look closely at this, it was called Wardenclyffe Tower. There were no substations attached to this tower. There were no electrical wires. The thought is provoking, but where did he receive the power from? The stars. So this Wardenclyffe Tower in Long Island, New York, was a free energy tower. Tesla had developed free energy for mankind, but he was suppressed.
Yeah, because everyone wants to make money off of something, right?
The bottom line is the cabal suppressed his work. It's that simple.
I know Edison stole a lot of it, I think, too.
Yeah, they were competitors to the dying day, sure.
There you go. Some of the other things about your service and what you guys do. I know a lot of people, they're into the study of chakras. How does it balance the 7 major chakras and 12 meridian points?
If you look at a scalar wave, it's a double helix and it spins. And then we compare that to our 7 chakras, which likewise spin. So my contention has always been we do have 7 chakras. They are 7 points of light, 7 spinning vortices of scalar energy. So the best way to download or impart intelligence to our 7 chakras is by a chakra instrument or a scalar energy instrument. And I've found that many people experience this uplift of health, mood by way of a chakra session. Meaning what? My scalar energy instrument interfaces with the 7 chakras of the body, which are scalar energy vortices, corrects those vortices, and many people say that they have a sense of elation or bliss or a sense of calm and equilibrium. So I would say that my scalar energy instruments serve as a direct interface to the 7 chakras.
Oh, wow. Wow. I know a lot of people really, especially people who do meditation and yoga, they're really into that sort of thing. So how is scalar energy the cause of gravity? That's interesting.
There was a Russian scientist, Viktor Gurbenikov, who developed a scalar energy platform. And by more or less negating the gravitational force field, he was able to levitate. So he proved that scalar energy is the cause of gravity. So if you can negate or in some way attenuate this gravitational force field, then you start to levitate and experiencing anti-gravity. Well, Gurbenikov was able to fly about hundreds of miles an hour on his flying platform, an anti-gravity platform, because he controlled scalar energy. And in so doing, when he was on this flying platform, he never experienced any G-forces. Because in a local scalar energy environment, you've overcome gravity.
Wow.
It's a state of anti-gravity, and this is why Gurbenikov never experienced any G-forces, because he was not subject to gravity.
Wow. That's pretty powerful. Now, you also talk about how it can be used to human enhancement as a photosynthesis is to plants. So it's, how plants process that.
My predecessor, Galen Hieronymus, had scalar energy instruments, and he was able to grow plants in his basement in the dark by way of scalar energy. So he proved that really the driving force behind photosynthesis is scalar energy, and that essentially electromagnetic energy has its part, but it's not the driving force. The driving force, the primal force behind any photosynthesis is scalar energy. Why? All energy initiates as scalar energy and then will degrade, or if you will, convert into electromagnetic energy. So scalar energy is the initial energy of the universe, whereas electromagnetic energy is the secondary or the offshoot, if you will.
Oh, wow. This is really interesting. It's an interesting thing to think about and what goes into it. How come this isn't more widely heard of, more widely accepted and stuff?
That's a great point. If I have test results from around the world that people have had their herpes virus eradicated or HIV virus eradicated, you would think that would be headline news. But you not contend, Chris, and the fact that this is so simple and easy. And if the world demands tests, I have hundreds of test results I can show you on my website. I prefaced my remarks. Now, to answer your question, this type of research is suppressed. My research is suppressed. Tesla's research was suppressed. That's the answer.
All right. So what more do we need to know about you and your service and what you do?
No, I would simply ask people to go to the website, scalarlight.com, read the articles, and then sign up, register by sending us. Remember, you're going to email us your photograph. That's all you have to do. Just email us your photograph. And in so doing, we will work with you for 15 days. We'll balance your chakras. We'll perform this pathogenic cleanse. And additionally, we'll, if you will, create or produce this environment, this milieu of nutrients, all done by way of your photographic interface, all done by way of these scalar energy instruments, these unique instruments that tap into that force field. We're not working through the electromagnetic force field. We're working through the 0-point energy or the scalar energy force field. And the key, the upshot is, do you feel better? Do you sense that your health is improved? Do you see the benefits?
And you guys work with people on addiction, digestion, fat issues that they have?
Yeah, there are other programs. There are too many to announce now. But yes, we have an addiction program whereby many people say they have relief from phobias and alcohol, cigarette, drug addiction. Why? Because scalar energy can break down, say, the residual, the leftover components of, say, cocaine or heroin.
Wow.
We do all of that by way of this cleansing energy.
There you go. So as we go out, anything more you want to plug on the service and what you do?
I will make this prediction. Scalar energy is the technology of the future. Scalar energy will have a greater impact upon mankind someday than that of the computer or that of the iPhone. So watch what happens with this new and emerging technology.
There you go. Give us your plug so people can find out more about you on the interwebs.
Visit the website, scalarlight.com, SCALAR, scalarlight.com. And then when you're inclined, send us your photograph. Email us your photograph. We'll show you just how simple and easy quantum healing is.
There you go. And thank you for coming on the show. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thanks, Monas, for tuning in. Go to youtube.com/Chris Voss. Hit that bell notification button. Also go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss. See everything reading and reviewing over there. See all our groups on Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. All that good stuff. Be good to each other. Stay safe. And we'll see you guys next time.